MMA fans, we have a special episode for you today here on MMA Round Up with your boy Randy Silver. Not one, not two, 3 title fights have been announced by Daddy Dana White. We're going to break it down for you, give you the tail of the tapes and each fight. Happy Wednesday to us. Breaking news. We have JIRI versus Alex at UFC 295 as the co-main event, going for the vacant light heavyweight title. Headlining UFC 296 in Las Vegas. That fight's in New York City, Madison Square Garden, by the way. 296, headliner, Edwards versus Covington. And then your co-main event for your flyweight title is Pantoja versus ROYVAL. And then also Edwards Covington is the welterweight title belt. Let's dive into the whole news for you. So as we talked about, JIRI versus PEREIRA, co-main event. Leon versus Colby, December 16th. Pantoja versus ROYVAL, December 16th. All the dominoes fall. So that probably means Sugar Sean will be in January fighting the first fight of the new year on the pay-per-view. So this fight right here, let's start. PROCHAZKA versus PEREIRA. JIRI is the former light heavyweight champion. He never lost the belt. Technically, he's a linear champion. He hurt his shoulder and had to give it up. Alex is the former middleweight champion coming up to lightweight. Leon Edwards is the reigning, the defending welterweight champion of the world. He beat Usman twice. Obviously, he had that sick head kick to win the first fight and then beat him second time in decision. Colby could never beat Usman. Now he gets a shot at Leon to win the title in his first time winning the title. And I think he has 2 title defenses. He lost twice to Usman. And Pantoja is facing ROYVAL. Pantoja's first time as the flyweight champion, defending his belt. The card for UFC 295, headlined by Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic. Because there's no other title fight on the card, there's no reigning champion. No pay-per-view points have to go to JIRI or Alex for this, which means UFC keeps more of the profits, which is good for them. So you get Jon Jones, potentially the GOAT of MMA versus Stipe, the GOAT of heavyweight fighting. They both could retire after this. They both could stay on. We'll find out. Then you get a new light heavyweight title champion coming in, JIRI winning his belt back, or Alex becoming a 2-division champion, middleweight and light heavyweight. Jessica Andrade and Mackenzie Dern in the women's strawweight will be a fun fight. That could be a contender eliminator for the strawweight. Derek Brunson versus Roman Dozell. Matt Schnell, Stephen Gregg, and Joshua Van and Kevin Borous are the other fights on the card. So your co-main event, let's dive into the tail of the tape for you. JIRI PROCHAZKA versus Alex PEREIRA, 205-pound title, November 11th, NYC, Madison Square Garden. Alex is 8-2 in MMA, while JIRI is 29-3 with 1 no contest. 6'4" Alex versus 6'3" JIRI. Alex weighs in 206 versus JIRI's 205. They both probably walk around the 225, 230, so this is going to be pretty evenly matched in terms of height and size. Alex is 6 years older, 36. Reach is about the same, 7'9", 80. Both are orthodox. Significant strikes, pretty much the same, 5 to 6 a fight. Accuracy, 68% for Alex to 58% for JIRI. Takedown average, 0.22 to 0.38. They're not taking it down. This is going to be a brawl. Whew, this is going to be fun. Alex's fight history, he beat Sean Strickland, who just beat Izzy for the middleweight title. That gave him a title fight against Izzy. He beat Izzy on that TKO. Izzy came back and got the immediate rematch and then knocked out Alex. And Alex then moved up. He fought former light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz. He beat him and now gets his title fight in the light heavyweight. Jan also beat Izzy when Izzy moved up. So there's just so much synergy here. So much synergy. Of course, Sean just beat Izzy. JIRI has only had 3 fights in the UFC. I guess I should also mention, obviously, you know the history of Alex and Izzy in the past in kickboxing. In the fight of the year in Singapore, JIRI beat Teixeira. He was supposed to fight shortly thereafter, but unfortunately tore his shoulder. Then that's how he gave up the belt. He is now back after a year and can get his title back. So this will be really fun. The build up to this will be great. The trash talk will be kind of hard. I mean, JIRI speaks English, Alex speaks but there's not a lot of trash talk, but the fighting will happen in the cage. Your second title fight, Leon versus Colby. They've been hyping this up for almost a year now. Leon Edwards from the UK, Colby Covington from the United States. Leon is 20-3 in MMA, 12-2 in the UFC, while Colby is 17-3 in MMA, 12-3 UFC, and I'm pretty sure 2 of those losses are to Usman, who Edwards beat twice after losing once. Edwards is number 1 in the MMA Drinking welterweight pools. He will face another opponent other than Kamaru Usman for the first time in more than 2 years. He captured the strap in August 2022 with a stunning come-from-behind knockout of Usman at UFC 278. Then would go on to take majority decision in the rubber match between the two at UFC 286. So it's been about a year since they fought. While Covington is 35, will attempt to make it good on his third chance at UFC belt after going 0-2 against Usman, so I was right. Chaos is 2-2 in his past 4 fights, but he has not fought since 2022 March, so almost a year and a half off. This is the shot that won Edwards a title in his second fight with Usman. 5th round, he was losing this fight, shot heard around the world, headshot, bang, KO. Here's a tail of the tape. Edwards is 6'2". He's a deceiving 6'2". He doesn't seem that big and tall. Covington's 5'11", both weigh in at 170. Edwards is 3 years younger, 32-35. He has a 2-inch reach advantage. Edwards is southpaw versus orthodox, which may give him an advantage here. Covington can brawl, but he's definitely known more of a wrestler, while Edwards is more of a kickboxer. So this will be an interesting stylistic matchup. In the fight history for Colby, his last 5 fights, he fought Masvidal, beat him pretty soundly. You can see he's gone 5 rounds in 5 straight fights. The dude is in shape and in condition. So, sorry, I lied there. All of the 5 fights were 5 rounds, meaning he's been in big fights. But you can see here in 2020, 2019, he lost. In that fight against Usman, he was actually probably winning that, but then Usman came in the 5th round and got the TKO. Woodley knocked him out pretty handily, and then lost to Usman again for the title fight, and then fought Masvidal in the grudge match. And he's had some issues since then with Masvidal. He tried to jump him at a restaurant. There's some legal proceedings going on still. Not sure where that's at. Edwards has not fought since he beat Usman back-to-back. He came up through here. He's been waiting. He was trying not to get Colby, but finally he agreed to the fight. So this will be a very fun fight. And this takes us to their fight. Alexandre Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. Pantoja is 26-5 MMA, 10-3 in the UFC, while Royval is 15-6 MMA, 5-2 in the UFC. Royval is tall for flyweight at 5'9" versus Pantoja 5'5". This will give him definitely a reach advantage, you would think, but no. 6'8" inches is 6'7.5", so that means Pantoja's got a pretty big reach for his height. Pantoja's orthodox versus Royval being southpaw. When we look at the strikes, very similar. Takedown goes to Royval. This will be an exciting fight. We've seen flyweights. It's fast. It's fierce. Non-stop energy for 5 rounds. This will be really fun. We look at the fight history. Pantoja, as we said, just won the title. He beat Brent Moreno in a 5-round slugfest. Was considered one of the fights of the year. Worked his way up with 4 straight wins to get here. You can see he already beat Royval earlier and at UFC Fight Night by submission. Royval gets a chance to then try to beat him and get the title. He has 3 fights win in a row to get to this point. So you would think if he wins this fight, they probably would do immediate rematch to do the rubber match for 3. And that's how you got your 3 UFC title fights announced tonight. PROCHAZKA versus PEREIRA, Edwards versus Covington, and Pantoja versus Royval. Comment your thoughts on the fights. Who do you think will win? And of course, subscribe here to Randy Silver TV, hosting MMA Round Up. We'll give you all the fight breakdown, all the pay-per-views, everything you need to know. We also have Hoops Roundup. We have Football Roundup. We have Gridiron Roundup. So European Football Roundup, American Football Roundup, MMA Roundup, Hoops Roundup. So much for you here. So subscribe. Thank you for watching. Comment your thoughts on the fights. And get ready, y'all. It's about to be a fun couple months to end the UFC calendar. Deuces.